Okay, so in the previous lesson, we had just finished creating the bones for the hand. So what we want to do is first save this file, do save as, and save it as a rigging lesson 01D. Go ahead and save it. Now let's go ahead and just zoom in, shift middle mouse button, and go to where the hand was. Now remember, we have the armature selected over here, and over here we left it at pose mode in the previous lesson, so I'm just going to switch it back to edit mode. Go ahead and click on the bone for the hand and press the period key to home in on it. Go ahead and zoom out and press the F7 key. So I'm just going to explain something to you here. So notice that when we created the bones for the hand, we've simply just positioned them or put them in place because we're going to adjust them later. The reason for this is it's kind of pointless to do this now when you're doing this for the first time. When we get to the part where we start to assign the vertices to the actual bones, you'll see that we will be adjusting these bones to give us the correct movements for the fingers and the thumb and the palm. So once you've gained that experience, and next time when you rig your character, you'll kind of know where to position these bones, and you'll get used to the idea of you're really going to be adjusting these bones when you get to the step of assigning the vertices to these bones. Okay, so that's just how it works when you're working with complex objects like this. So when we get to that step, you'll see how it's going to work. So right now we're just going to go ahead and zoom out and press the 1 key, press shift middle mouse button, and come over here. So what we want to do now is create the bone for the tongue. So go ahead and press the 3 key to go to your right view. Okay, go ahead and click on this bone first. Now notice that when you switch to object mode, you can see all the bones in place. Okay, now we're going to switch to edit mode. So if you have this bone selected, you're going to press the H key to hide it. This is because we want to be able to create the bones for the tongue, and that bone is coming in our way. Now notice that when we switch to object mode, that bone is going to appear again. So in order to remove this bone, or basically hide it in object mode, you have to also hide it in pose mode. So if you switch to pose mode, you'll see that the bone is still there, but in edit mode it's hidden. So you can do Alt H to bring the hidden bone back. So click on this bone, press H to hide it in edit mode, then switch to pose mode, and then click it over here and press H to hide it. Now if you switch to object mode, you'll see that the bone does not appear. This is again just a temporary thing we're doing. So to create the bone for the tongue, we need to actually see where the tongue is. So to do this, press the 1 key to go to your front view. Go ahead and select the figure. So here we're going to select the figure. And now if you go to the modifiers tab, you'll see that the figure is using the mirror modifier. Go ahead and click on this eye, and you'll see now we can see half of the figure. So if you press the 3 key, it's going to be the right view, and if you do Control 3, it'll be the opposite view. So now if we zoom in, shift middle mouse button, we can actually see what the tongue looks like. Again, you can just do the middle mouse button to see how it looks in 3D. I'm going to do Control 3 over here. Remember that if you press the 3 key, it's the right view. You can do Control 3 to go to the opposite view. If you press the 3 key, it's the right view, and you can simply just press the 9 key, it'll go to the opposite view. It's the same thing for all the views. 1 is front, Control 1 is back, right? 1 is front and 9 is back. So anyways, we're going to press 3 and 9 to quickly switch the views. So here what I want you to do is just a left click over here to bring the 3D cursor. Now we need to position this 3D cursor correctly. So if we press the 1 key, we can see that the 3D cursor is kind of off to the side. So over here in this panel, go ahead and open this up. So we know that the Z location is going to be correct because that's just the up and down arrow. And we also know that if you look over here on the axis, this is the x-axis. This has to be zeroed out. So click on the X and press 0 and then enter. It'll move the 3D cursor over here. And if you press the 3 key and then 9 to go back, you can see that the Y position is basically moving from the center of the grid. So if I just zoom in and press the Shift key down and click on Y, you can see that we can move the 3D cursor. Okay, so I'm just going to place the 3D cursor right about here. And now if you click on the Z, press the Shift key down, you can move it in increments right about here is fine. Okay, now we're going to make sure we switch back to the armature. Then you're going to switch to edit mode. Then you're going to do Shift A. So it's going to add the bone where the 3D cursor is. Let's go ahead and zoom out until we get the big grid units. Shift middle mouse button to bring this over here. And now click on this blue arrow and bring it down. Now notice that we don't have snapping enabled. So I'm going to Control Z that and click on snapping over here. Go ahead and click on the blue arrow and bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Go ahead and zoom in, Shift middle mouse button over here and just zoom in. Okay, so now we don't actually have to use snapping. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now before we move this, as I said, it's really important that when you're positioning your bones, you do them in the front view, the right view, or the top view. Okay, we're going to do 3 and then Control 3. And now we're going to click on the tail and press the G key, and now simply just bring this down to where the tip of the tongue is. I'm just going to zoom in, Shift middle mouse button to show you where we're going to position this. So we'll roughly place it around here. So next we're going to click on the body, do W and then subdivide, and now click on this to give us 3 segments. Now we can simply click on this body, press the G key, and now kind of position it to how you would imagine the bones would be to move this tongue. So over here we can even click on this joint over here, press the G key to kind of like position it. Okay, so position it kind of like over here, and I guess we can put it kind of like this. And here I'm just going to press the G key and bring this down, press the G key, kind of give it like a curve sort of. Okay, that's fine. Now if we press the 1 key, you'll see that it's exactly over here. That's what we want. Now go ahead and switch to the figure and go ahead and turn the mirror modifier back on. Now you can press the 3 key to go to the right view. Now we're going to bring the bones back, so click on the armature and make sure you go to edit mode and then do Alt H to bring the bone back, and now go ahead and click on pose mode over here and do Alt H to bring the bone back. Now we can just switch to edit mode over here and then A to D select. So this is how you can position your bones like this. There are multiple ways of doing this, but here I'm just showing you that you can just simply turn off the mirror modifier. So now we're going to press the 1 key over here. Okay, let's go ahead and save this file first. So the next step that we're going to do, now we've actually completed creating all the bones. So what we want to do is press the 3 key to go to the right view, and now we're going to switch to pose mode. We're going to check that all the parent-child relationships are working. So go ahead and zoom in, Shift middle mouse button over here. So click on the head bone. Now when you rotate this, you'll notice that the tongue is staying in place. This means we need to definitely create a relationship for the tongue. So right click to cancel that movement. So this means that the root bone of the tongue needs to be assigned to some bone. It's obviously going to be assigned to the jaw because it needs to move where the jaw moves. So here you're going to switch to edit mode and then click on this bone, which is going to be the child, and now go find the parent, which is going to be the jawbone. So press the Shift key down and click on the body of this bone. Now do Control P, and we're going to do keep offset. If we had done connected, it would take the head of this bone and connect it to the tail. That's not what we want. So now we're going to go to pose mode and make sure that all is working. So click on the head bone first and press the R key to rotate. So now the tongue moves where the jaw goes, right? So the eyes and the jaw and the tongue are now moving with the head bone. That's what we want. Right click to cancel that movement. Now click on the jawbone and press the R key to rotate, and you can see that the tongue is definitely moving, so that's a good connection. We shift middle mouse button over here and just zoom out a little bit. Click on this neck bone, press the R key. Everything is functioning over here. Right click to cancel that movement, shift middle mouse button. Now we're going to click right over here. This is going to be the upper chest. Press the R key over here, and you can see that when we rotate this bone, the arms, the hands, the shoulder, the neck, head, jaw, tongue, eyes are all moving with this bone. So this is correct. This is how it needs to move. Okay, now we're going to click on the shoulder, press R key, that is moving, shift middle mouse button. And of course, if you click on this, press the R key, that moves. We don't have to worry about this bone, we know it's going to move. Then click on the forearm bone, that is working. Over here on the hand bone, that is also working. So now go to your top view by pressing the 7 key, press the period key to home in on the hand. So what you want to do is make sure that when you click on this bone over here, press the R key, that it rotates over here. And of course, these are the palm bones. We're just checking all the connections over here. And now, of course, this, press the R key, that works. And if we click on the hand, everything should be moving the way it should. So that's good. Go to the front view. Now we're going to click on this lower chest bone, press the R key, and you can see that everything is moving. This bone should be moving when you move this bone. Now we're going to click on the spine bone and just zoom out now. That works. And if you click on the hip bone, everybody should move. Okay, so if I zoom out just to show you what's going on, if you click on this hip bone, all the bones should be moving with it. This is really important. Now we don't have to click on this bone. We already know that it's going to work. We're going to click on the leg bone and make sure that's working. This is working. Press the 3 key to go to your right view. Click on this one. This works. This works. This works. And this works. Okay, now another way to also check this, if you go to edit mode, now make sure you save your file first before you do anything. Okay, now we're going to zoom in. Now if you press the G key, you can see that the parent-child relationship is working. So this is a connected bone, this is a connected bone, this is a connected bone. Remember, when I'm moving this with the G key by right clicking on the body, I'm right clicking to cancel that movement. This is how you can check quickly what's going on with the bones. Let's click this. This is correct. This over here is also correct. Now when we click on this, we'll go to the front view, and now when you press the G key, you'll see that this is the correct relationship. Okay, and over here press the G key, and this is again an offset bone, so this is correct. This should be correct. This should be correct. Over here, click on this one, press the G key, and this is all correct. Yep. And over here, this is correct. So here I'm just quickly testing to make sure that all the connections are working. Now press the 7 key over here. Now notice that all the bones over here are offset, so when we move the hand bone, this is how it should move. And then over here, this is correct, 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 and correct. Now all these bones are going to be correct, but you can go through that process to check that all the connections are working over here. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go to the front view and just make sure, okay, this is correct. Over here, this is correct, this is correct. Press the 3 key, and all the connections are now working the way they should. Okay, so that's basically the process of setting up your bones. This is really the first part of it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is when we get to the next lesson, this is where we're going to now start renaming these bones. This is something that we haven't done yet. So I'll see you in the next lesson. So let's go ahead and now save this file over here. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.